is one major risk factor that contributes to poor health in communities. And when you look at the number of volunteers who came around, 99% of them were young and white. And the community that they were serving was mostly African American. And even as those volunteers were coming down, they also noticed a disparity in how they got through to get into the city. When doctors of color were turned away, and they, being young and white, were allowed into the city. Whether they lied their way through or not, the African American doctors could not lie their way through into the city. So there was already an awareness that race could be an issue in the way that they were going to do their work. And when they got here, through mentorship from St. Thomas Community Health Center, they were able to collaborate with a community organization known as the People's Institute for Survival and Beyond. And we started hosting Undoing Racism trainings as a means to create an environment where we can all work together and be on the same page and not allow our differences or our what we call internalized racial oppression to come in between the work that we do, whether as a provider or as a patient or a community member. Another thing about Common Ground Health Clinic that made it special is the acknowledgement that ill health or health should not be looked at as only when a patient is sick and comes to the clinic and sits across from a provider, but that the community as a whole, recognizing the fact that before Katrina, the community itself was already sick, and that Katrina only exposed what that sickness was, and maybe aggravated the sickness in and of itself.
I'm sorry, on August 29, 2005 was a life-changing for the city of New Orleans. Katrina hit and devastated our community. The Lower Ninth Ward was the hardest hit. The breach in the canal left residents homeless, many lost their lives, and a community hopeless. Many residents lived in the Lower Ninth Ward for more than 25 years. The residents loved their community. However, they are very concerned about the lack of recovery. 5 years after Hurricane Katrina, we are almost in the same situation we were days after the storm. Many residents chose not to return to New Orleans due to the lack of the necessities that are vital to the recovery of the community, such as housing, schools, supermarkets, hospitals, and fire stations. As of today, we don't have any of these. The parks in the Lower Ninth Ward are still not renovated or upgraded. We received a lot of promises that the parks would be evaluated and brought up to code from the city. That has not happened. The Lower Ninth Ward was underwater 22 feet. Many residents' homes had to be demolished. Residents had to demolish their homes because of the water set about 2 months. I truly believe my community has been forgotten. I invite you to come to the Ninth Ward. Every day there are bus tours going through the neighborhood. But the tour guides are not bringing the buses on the main intersection where the people need to see. Our streets are covered with grass and trees. Some areas of infrastructure have not been addressed. Drainage and street lights are still out 5 years after Katrina. Pre-Katrina, we had 4 elementary schools and 1 high school. The city deemed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Charter School to be torn down. Dr. Rochelle Hicks, principal and COE, would not accept the assessment that her school had to be demolished. She hired an independent firm to assess the building and found that it could be renovated. The city placed a stop work order. Through civil disobedience, Dr. Hicks, her staff, community leaders, residents, SCLC, and anyone who would assist in removing the debris from the school was needed. Currently, there is only 1 school in the 9th Ward with an enrollment of approximately 750 students and a waiting list of 400. There are several nonprofit organizations that have come together to support a high school and additional elementary school in the Lower 9th. Lower 9th Ward Stakeholders Education Advisory Group has worked untiringly to make these new schools a reality. We have gone before the Bessie Board, the person that make policies and decisions for new schools, and received their support. City officials, school board superintendents, public and charter, and all are in support of building these schools. All that we need now is funding. Lower 9th Ward had $91.4 million obligated from FEMA for schools in the Lower 9th Ward and did not receive a dime. 5 years after Katrina, there is still no recovery.
Spike Lee do his little thing, this is the area he's speaking of. But the real issue is, see, this happened, I'm not going down there, you know.
Okay.
But in the next corner is Roman Street. In 1965, the levee blew up, whatever you want to say, right at that point. Okay? In 2005, at the exact same place, the levees came down again. Now this is a street that had houses. Okay then. All right, well I'll be...
Yeah, this is horrible.
Right.
What, does the city just not have the money to fix these streets, or what?
No. I've been asking about where's the money for the last 5 years. Nobody can help.
I mean, do you guys not pay enough taxes, or what? I mean...
I don't know. I guess somebody made the decision that FEMA gave money to fix these streets. But...
Make it right.
So make it kind of...
How did the people that have the new houses get their houses? The line.
They had to come up with it. They had to give up whatever money they got from Road Home, which was another joke. But whatever monies they got from Road Home and insurance, they had to give that 85% of those monies to make it right. And make it right in turn, got together with them if they needed to make a loan or whatever to help them build their homes. I applaud Make It Right in the sense that if they wasn't doing what they're doing,
They wouldn't have seen nothing.
yeah, this was still very much the, like you can see the traditional houses, those are the people that didn't do the Make It Right houses. Meaning, okay?
Is that a wise thing to do?
I rebuilt my house, okay? So, I wouldn't have anybody else building me no house. I don't let other people say sure. This gentleman...
Oh my God, she looks so young.
Mr. Dixon, how you doing? Yeah, I've got a problem.
How are you?
I'm trying to, what's your age now, Mr. Dixon?
46.
Well, 26 months of 85.
85.
85. Wow.
Yeah, last time I saw him, he was up on the roof back there doing something.
Oops.
That's all right. His son and I were real close friends. His son and I graduated high school, went to college together.
Yeah.
But
Just like my kids.
Aw. How did your home do during the flood?
His home he lost completely.
Oh, it just rebuilt?
Yeah, this is what he just did here. He actually lived in another area, in another part of the lower Nile.
Yeah.
And they came and rebuilt his home.
Nice.
Big
Wow.
Well, they just come from Walmart.
Well, they're spending your money then.
Yeah, taking mine, they don't spend theirs.
Yeah, I hear you.
What's your name, sir? Yeah, nice seeing all of y'all. Yeah.
All right.
You have a great house.
Yeah, thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Dixon.
Okay.
Wilma Dixon.
D-I-X-O-N.
And he's a journalist from across the country that I was in a meeting with him yesterday.
Yeah.
And I told him I'll bring him down here and let him see the lower Ninth Ward to see what's really going on.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
All right.
Who owns this land here? This
What
grass?
you see, the grass growing, that's the people that still own their own property.
And don't want to do anything about it.
I don't know if they can or, if they're able to.
They died.
It was an elementary school that was here. It was closed actually before Katrina. The current superintendent of the RSD decided that they should not put another high school on this ground. Don't ask me why. He said he had issues. I asked him what his issue was. He wouldn't tell me. I don't know.
Where is the school now?
They are being bused all over the city. All the schools are being bused. It's a nightmare. All right. Now you gotta look. Who should be responsible for all this vegetation out in the street? Again, you let me grow out. The gentleman we just left, that's where his house used to be, in that block. But they chose not to come back in that area. Okay. But this is where, now what my organization has done, we have actually got an architect and have designed the school. All we're doing now is trying to demand the money that came for the schools should be given to us. Yeah, Kingstown, I doubt if they ever come back. Now, the area that we're coming to now, this is Florida Avenue. This is actually where the lower Nile ends at, okay? From that curve all the way out to the levee. The city owns that property. Wouldn't it be nice if they cut their own grass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now is it required?
Flood insurance. I'm Reverend Willie L. Calhoun Jr. and we just left the lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans, Louisiana. No.
Hey, yeah,
Willie Calhoun just left the lower Ninth Ward.
And all you want for your community is?
Fair. I want our schools back. I want the infrastructure restored as it was pre-COVID.